Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and welcome to another reading vlog. So in the last vlog, we left off with finishing Lost and Lassoed and The Unworthy, which was really good. Both were really good reads. And so for this vlog, we're going to finish the Rebel Blue Ranch series with the fourth and final book, Wild and Wrangled. So in the final book, we are going to be following Cam, and Cam is Gus's baby mama. Cam and Gus have a really interesting relationship. I kind of hope that we explore their history a little bit more. They're not together. They were never together. I don't know what the history is between them. I think they've just, messed around and Cam got pregnant with Riley and then they decided to just be besties and co-parent. And they have a very, very healthy relationship. And you hear about Cam and read about Cam throughout the whole series. So I'm really excited this is going to be her book. And we're going to be following Dusty. And Dusty gets introduced in book 2, and he is one of Gus's old friends, and he has history with Cam as well. But I really can't go into anything else because then I'll be spoiling a lot of things that happen throughout the series. So this is going to be very interesting how I'm going to be talking about the fourth and final book. But as always, I'm going to keep it spoiler free and keep it as vague as possible. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one. I did hear mixed reviews about Wild and Wrangled. But other than that, I've been seeing more good than negative reviews, or more positive than negative reviews. The author's note in the beginning had me very emotional. I'm like, oh my god, this is so tender. Like, this is so sweet. Lila Sage is such a wonderful author. I just love her books. This series is just so good and will always have a special place in my heart. And I'm so sad that I'm finally going to be finishing the series and I don't want this to end. But she's coming out with a new book. I forget what it's called. I think it's Soul Searching, a Sweetwater Peak novel. I'll post a picture right here. I think it's coming out in September. I'm so excited. I think this one has to do with ghosts. I think this book is leaning more paranormal, and y'all know I love me some paranormal shit. So we are reading that day one when it releases. Okay. I am a Lila Sage stan till the day I die. So yeah. I'm excited to start this. I read like 5 pages this morning. I just got really busy, so I wasn't able to read more. But as soon as I clock out of work and finish up some chores, you best believe I will be sought and I'll be reading Wild and Wrangled. Wild and Wrangled. I don't know what that was. I'm so sorry. Next book on our list for this reading vlog, Annie Bot. So I am 20% into Annie Bot, and it is very bleak, very sad. We are seeing Annie become more sentient, questioning her relationship with her owner, Doug, who he is such an asshole. He is an asshole. I hate that man. I I hate Doug. I hate Doug. I really do hate him. This is a rough read, but I just get sucked in. It's very interesting. And yeah, I hope we have a happy ending, but I don't know, because it's a really sad book. And the more she learns about herself and becoming more human, the sadder it is. And if you haven't watched my previous vlog, I talked about how it reminds me of the game Detroit Become Human. If you haven't played that game, I highly recommend it. If you love stories about like robots becoming more sentient, becoming more human, and just the ethics behind all of that, highly, highly recommend Detroit Become Human. Such an incredible game. And Annie Bot just reminds me of it. Like, so good. The themes explored is very similar. So I'm definitely going to be finishing these 2 books in this vlog. I've also started to read The Raven Scholar, and the She's thick. Okay, this I do not predict me finishing this book in this vlog or even the next vlog. I'm taking it easy and digesting this. It's almost 700 pages long and I've tabbed it off. I don't know if you guys can see. Like every 100 pages is like a goal just to kind of like visually see like how far I have left so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. It's been a while since I've read like a 500 page plus fantasy book, but I'm so excited. I'm having a great time. The audiobook is so good. This follows our Raven scholar Nima, and she is the main character. She is a Black female main character, and I'm like, yes, thank you. I think it's like a murder mystery involved in this, where every 20 plus, I forgot the exact number, 24 years, I believe, a new emperor is elected through trials, and one of the contestants was murdered. Murdered. And so, dear Nima has to basically figure out who murdered the contestant. And it's really good so far. The writing is fantastic, the humor is fantastic, the dialogue between characters is just great. The narrator, she just switches up on accents on whoever is talking. Like she's like a well of accents. Like the narrator, I need to look her up because she is hella talented. It's just this one lady who is like coming up with like 30 million different accents for the 30 million characters that are in this book. And I'm like, wow, that is talent because if I narrated this shit, everybody would sound the same and everyone would be hella confused. But yeah, I'm having a great time. This is just like a background read for me when I have down time. I am not in a rush to finish this. So yeah. I'll definitely give you guys updates as I go. I've made it to part 2, which is page 56. And yeah, a lot of stuff is happening. A lot of trifling things is happening. It's very like high fantasy, a lot of politics involved. And yeah, I'm gonna take my time consuming this. And as I stated, I will give you guys updates. And then the fourth book that we're reading, because I'm crazy, is Phantasma. I'm on chapter 6. I'm buddy reading this with my good friend Danny. If you guys are new to my channel, I've talked about Danny a few times. We buddy read a lot. So there's always going to be like a vlog or so that I'm buddy reading with Danny. Speaking of buddy read, I'm also buddy reading Wild and Wrangled with my friend Jenny. I'll link her channel down below as well. Phantasma. This was a very popular book when it first came out. I'm kind of late to the game right now. What the hell is Phantasma about? This book has been out for so long. I've genuinely forgotten what the book is about. I've just been like, it's just been on my TBR forever. And then finally, my friend was like, let's buddy read this. And I was like, okay, sure. Okay, so we're following Ophelia, which by the way, I love that name. Just throwing it out there. I love that name. Enters a deadly contest to save her sister, but finds herself drawn to a mysterious stranger who offers to help her navigate the lethal trials ahead. So, in the 6 chapters that I read, Ophelia, we start off with her mom dying, and she is like doing this spell that transfers her mom's powers to her. And I think they're like necromancers. Her mom owns, well, not her mom, her family. The family manor is called the Grim Manor, and they live in New Orleans, and they offer like services to the New Orleans population where people can come into their home and speak with the dead basically. So that's how they make their money with services including of speaking with the dead. I don't know about resurrection. They mentioned resurrection, but I don't know if that's like a service that they offer. But it was a business mostly done by Ophelia and her sister Genevieve's mom. Her name is Tessie Grimm. And Tessie was training Ophelia because it is basically like assumed that once Tessie passes, Ophelia would take over the family business. And so, since childhood, Ophelia has been learning magic and studying spells all under her mother's guidance. And then her mother dies, and she had to transfer her mother's powers over to her. And then her eyes are like a different color. They're like this icy blue color, and she can see ghosts now. She also suffers from OCD. There's definitely OCD rep in this. I think the writing is fantastic. I think the descriptions are really beautiful. Like, I was sucked in. I was like, oh, okay. Shit starts hitting the fan though, because some people from the bank show up like 2 days after her mother's death, talking about your mama was not paying the bills, and we're about to foreclose this house and demolish it unless y'all can cough up $35,000. And Ophelia's like, what are you talking about? My mama be paying the bills. And they're like, no, she's not paying the bills. And then she finds out that her mom cashed out some loans on the mortgage, and turns out it was her sister that was doing it behind her back. And yeah, they're basically going to lose the house. So that is where I am at right now. That seems to be the goals for this vlog, is hopefully, obviously not the Raven Scholar. That's not gonna happen. But I'm really hoping to finish Wild and Wrangled, Anibot, and Phantasma. Those are my goals for this reading vlog. And I'm also going this Friday with my bestie. We're gonna go to one of Atlanta's, I think Atlanta's only romance bookstore, All of the Tropes. They're having like a movie night, and I'm really excited. I want to do like more events like that. So I will try to vlog a little bit of that. I don't know. I don't want to be weird and like bring a camera and just like, you know what I mean? But if I can like vlog a little bit without being weird or awkward, I will. But that seems to be the plans for this week. It is also a long weekend. It's Memorial. I always get Memorial and Labor Day like confused. I don't know why. I've been on this earth for like 30 years and I still get those 2 days off. It's Memorial Day. Memorial Day is on Monday and I have Friday off. So I have a long ass weekend. Anyways, I have to get back to work because these bills got to get paid somehow. Hello. We are in my car at my job. I'm on my lunch break. I wanted to be in my car because my job is on one and I'm cranky. So I don't want to be in the office. And it's nice outside. It's finally not raining after like what feels like the sky has been falling for the past, I don't know, 2 weeks. Like, it's been raining almost every day. And not just like light rain, it's been storming like crazy. I mean, it's nice, like I don't mind it, but I did miss the sun, and it has cooled down, so it's like beautiful outside. And I'm like, damn, I kind of don't want to be trapped inside of an office on this beautiful day. Like, I want to be outside. But anyways, we're not here for that. Anibot. So y'all, I have reached the 60% mark. I cannot put this book down. This book is so fucking trifling, okay? Like, I was reading, sorry guys, my asthma is acting up, so, I read a chapter yesterday at work during one of my breaks, and I gasped so loud. The gusp, I gasped. Okay, had my coworker freaked out. She was like, what happened? I was like, don't worry, girl. It's just something trifling happened in the book. And she's like, oh, okay. And like, she was like, and I was like, you don't get it. Okay, you don't get it. Yeah, no, some trifling ass shit was revealed. And I couldn't help but gasp so loud. And I know I've said this a million times. Like, I know I've described this book as being sad and bleak and triggering, but truly, those are the 3 words that come to my mind every time I think about Anibot. But I still can't put this shit down. It's so good. Like, it's like the emotions that the author is making me like feel, like the visceral reactions. Like, my fight or flight response starts kicking in, And I'm just like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm about to fight somebody, I'm about to cuss somebody out, I'm about to run away and cry. Like this is such a anxiety inducing book, but it's so good. I can't put it down. Some crazy shit is going down. I think we're finally reaching the climax of the book. Some really crazy shit's happening. I'm really scared for Annie, and I'm really rooting for my girl. I really want a good for her ending. I don't see any other ending for Annie but a good for her moment. And if this book ends on a sad note, like she doesn't have her good for her moment, or it doesn't end on a happier note, I'm gonna be so sad because I really am rooting for Annie. Annie's my girl. She deserves the best. And the men in this book have me so mad. But sadly, that's just how it is sometimes. Men just don't really be holding other men accountable. Sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes they don't. And that's just the reality of it. Like, Annie is literally out here asking other men for help, and they're like, it's not that bad, you're fine, go back to your owner. And I'm like, y'all, she is begging, she is crying for help, and these men in her life are like, it's not that bad. And I'm just like, oh, I want to punch something. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish it probably today. What does my Kindle say? I love when my Kindle tells me how much longer I have in the book, because I like see it as like a race. I'm like, I'm gonna beat that time. I think I only have 100 pages left. I have 2 hours left of the book. I can totally finish that today. Anyways, I don't have much updates for Wild and Wrangled. I'm on page 45, chapter 7. We had our first flashback, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing really much for me to say. I haven't really gone far in. I'm hoping I can read more this weekend. But yeah, that's all the updates I have now. I'm going to continue reading Annie Bot because I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens. So I'm gonna continue reading Annie Bot on my lunch break, and I'll talk to you guys later. Friends. So I just came back from walking 2 miles at the park. It was super needed. Oh my god. I needed to move around. Like I have been rotting for so long. I'm like on a new level of burnt out that I don't know, I haven't experienced this level of burnout in ages, where I just don't want to do anything at all. Like editing is hard. Reading is a little bit easier because it's like calming for me. So reading has been fine, but it's just like every other aspect of my life, like cleaning, cooking, um, just basic necessities, like that's been difficult. I've been very burnt out, and rotting has been helping. But I feel like I've rotted for too long and my body needs to move. So husband and I, we went on a 2 mile walk and it was amazing. And yesterday I was on Stephanie Bookish. She was doing some sprints, and I finished Annie Bot while participating in her reading sprints. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. I gave this 4.5 stars. This was so, oh my god. I don't even know where to begin. The ending was so sad. Honestly, I wish that it was 100 pages more because it did wrap up nicely. It was very melancholy how it wrapped up. Um I guess she did have a good for her moment, but it's not like an extreme good for her moment. It was like a like breathing for the first time, like a breath of fresh air. Like she's just, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was good and it was bittersweet and sad. And I'm just so happy for my girl Annie. And the novel was just fantastic. It definitely was traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It was very triggering. Yeah, it was very interesting to read what I basically went through from an outsider's perspective. It was pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie. But I thought the novel was fantastic. It was beautifully written and I highly recommend it. 4.5 stars. It was an amazing book. Like I honestly like the more I talk about it, like I was on the couch with my husband and I was just telling him about the book and how it ended. And he was like, "Wow." And I'm like, "Right?" Like I don't know. I think it might be like a 5-star read. I know I already put it up on Goodreads and everything. That's a 4.5, but like the more I talk about it, the more I'm sitting on it, the more I'm like, this might be 5 stars. I don't know. For now, I'm gonna leave it at 4.5, but if I really feel like it's gonna be like that 5-star read, I'll change it. But it was a phenomenal read. Very bleak, very depressing. I know every update clip, I'm like, very bleak, very depressing, but that's really what it is. Very bleak, very depressing. Very I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I was clawing my way to escape while reading this book. It was the author, like, she really like amplified my anxiety reading this. I was so anxious the whole time. So good. Um, I love this book. I really do. It was like also kind of like self-healing in a way because, you know, even though I was like, triggered and having like flashbacks, it was also kind of like me accepting certain things that have happened and just kind of like doing a lot of like self-reflection. And I'm just like, damn, this book was deep. I highly recommend it. Just check your trigger warnings for real though. It was a very intense book, but I loved every second of it. I couldn't put it down. Yeah, fantastic read. As you can see in my previous clips, I went to a bookish event, All of the Tropes, which is a romance only bookstore in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I say Atlanta, Georgia, I really do mean Atlanta, Georgia. I know there's like a running joke that people are like, "Oh, this is in Atlanta, Georgia," and it's like 30 minutes away from Atlanta, Georgia. But this is for real in Atlanta. It's a beautiful bookstore. I was a little shy to record more because there was like a lot of people there. They were like checking in for the movie event. We saw Sleepless in Seattle. This movie, so the book One Time Caller is loosely based off of Sleepless in Seattle. And I was really hoping to buy a copy there. But the bookseller was telling me that they ordered books for this event, but the shipment came in super late. Like, I don't think they're getting their shipment until Monday. Like, they just had a lot of mishaps for the event. And she was like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Girl, it's okay." Like, girl, mishaps happen all the time. Like, you try to plan for something and something always goes wrong. That's just like the law of the universe. Like something has to fuck up. So it's no big deal. But y'all know me. If I go to a bookstore, I gotta walk out with something. Sorry, I don't make the rules. So I bought this really cute button that literally describes me, period. And I'm gonna put it on my tote bag. Mood reader. And then I picked up The Striker by Anna Huang. So, quick lore. My best friend, the reason why I read Annie Bot was because she went on a trip, on a work trip, and she picked up Annie Bot at one of the bookstores in the airport. And I think, the book came with like a code thingy. I don't remember where she's able to pick a free book and it's sent to her house. And she did it and she didn't think about it. Like she was like, "Okay, whatever." And then she came like home one day and then she got The Striker. Like she picked The Striker. She has been super interested in this book because it's soccer player in a ballerina love story. And back to the lore. So me and Nicole, my best friend, We love ballet. Okay, we saw the Nutcracker last year in December, and legit, y'all, we were going to sign up for adult ballet classes, but life, and we weren't able to. That's still a thing. That is still one of our goals is to take a class together, and we really want to do ballet. So, Nicole, if you are watching this, which you do because she loves me and she watches my stuff, Nicole, I love you. Ballet. Anyways, and then my bitch loves soccer, like period. Like soccer, like we're literally talking about having like a soccer movie night, like Ben and like Beckham, and She's the Man. I love that movie. She's a Man, an amazing movie. Anyways, so we have the best of both worlds in this. Okay, we have ballet, which we both love, and then she loves soccer stuff. So yeah, we have a ballerina ex soccer player romance, and she's a few chapters in and she's loving it. And I'm like, period, let's have an unofficial buddy reading session. So I picked it up. I picked it up and I'm excited. It's super cute. And I'm like, damn, this is like, how many pages is this? 577 pages long. Girl, Miss Anna Huang. I've never read any of her books, but I know like she has like a really popular series going on right now. Um, I forget what it's called, like Twisted Love or something like that series. But I've never read any of her other series. But I'm like, damn, girl, what do you got to say? That is 577 pages long. Anyways, I'm excited to read this. Don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but maybe soon. I don't know. And the last purchase I got was this really cute bookmark. There's like daggers, dragons, and leaves. If my camera will focus, there we go. See, dragons, daggers, stars, leaves, very fantasy-esque. And I was like, yeah, you're coming home with me. So that's my little haul. And yeah, the movie night was a great time. Sleepless in Seattle was a very crazy movie. Literally, Tom Hanks is stalked for an hour and 30 minutes. But the ending had me cheesing. I thought it was very sweet. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. And Phantasma. I got a physical copy of it. I got it for $6, which I'm like, that's a steal. It's a little damaged on top. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little folded up here, which is fine for $6. Like, y'all, compared to $18.99. Yeah, okay, that's a steal. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm on, I don't think you guys can see. Chapter 19. I don't know what page. I think it's 140 something. Honestly, guys, I'm having a great time. I think the writing is fantastic. The atmosphere is fantastic. We are following Ophelia. I think I already did like a little synopsis earlier in the clip, but basically her family's in debt. Her mother passed away. She got her powers. She's a necromancer and she's running the family business. And her sister did some fuck shit and basically entered Phantasma, which is like, honestly, think about it as the Haunted Mansion, okay? The Haunted Mansion with trials. I think you can just like sign up and you just go through the trials. You can die. You 100% can die in very horrific ways. And you can tap out when you're not in the middle of a trial. So if a trial ends and you're like, fuck this, you can tap out and like nothing really happens. You lose and you move on. One of the rules is before entering Phantasma is that you have to tell the guy what your darkest fears are because it literally affects the mansion. So let's say, for example, your darkest fears are snakes. The ghouls and the ghosts and the phantoms in the mansion will literally like create like that fear. It'll make it come true and it'll like freak you out, haunt you. So it's like literally like a haunted mansion on steroids. So when Ophelia finds out that her sister Genevieve entered Phantasma, she was like, bro. So then she enters Phantasma and she goes through some trials and she meets this phantom called Blackwell. And he's like, listen, I'm tethered to this mansion and I feel like you can help me be untethered and escape. So he's like, if I make a deal with you, like we make a deal, we make a pact. I help you through the trial so you can find your sister and you help me like untether myself from this place. And the exchange is 10 years of her life. So yeah, so she's like, you know what? I'ma swallow my pride. I'll take Blackwell's deal. And yeah, and it's a romantasy, y'all. So there's some tension between the two. So yeah, so I guess that's just the reading goals right now. Continue reading Phantasma. I did not get further in Wild and Wrangled. I just been so busy and I really wanted to focus on finishing Annibot. I'm gonna be focusing on Phantasma and Wild and Wrangled for the rest of this vlog. I don't really see myself reading anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and start editing and I will see you guys later. Hey friends, so bad news. It might be some shocking news, but while in Wrangled, I ended up DNFing this. So I know you're probably like, what the heck, Michelle? Because you absolutely loved book 1 to 3. And like, what happened? So let me explain to you what happened. So the author's note and then Emmy's chapter, because this isn't following Emmy, this is following Cam, which is Gus's baby mama, and Dusty, which is one of Teddy's best friends and Wes's really good friends growing up. And so it's following their story, and it's a second chance romance because this is the 4th book, and so it concludes the series, and it ends with a final chapter, and it's Emmy's chapter. And the author's note in Emmy's chapter were 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. The rest of the book, Dusty and Cam's book, was just it was a DNF. I literally couldn't get into it. Me and my friend Jenny, we were talking about it on Steph's Discord, and Steph was like, y'all wanna like hear the rundown of the book? We're like, yes, girl, because we were both struggling through it. And so she did. And it was also her least favorite. And honestly, I'm glad I DNF'd it because it just sounded like I wouldn't have a good time. And I think the problem was that Cam was such a side character. Like, she was a good side character, but the other side characters were more prominent in the book. And you can tell that they were going to be main characters in the next book. And Cam, I'm not saying like her role isn't important. She does play like an important role in the other installments, but they're not as like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I get maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe like, I don't want to say that her character isn't important, but it wasn't, I just feel like she wasn't fleshed out enough throughout the series to warrant her own book, if I'm making sense. And so when she does have her own story, I just don't feel connected to her. I didn't feel connected to her. Dusty, he's a good man. He is a good man, but it's been 15 years since they broke up, and Cam has a whole ass child with one of his besties, and it's just messy. It's been 15 years. That's almost 2 decades, and you still obsessed with this girl. That's kind of wild to me. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of crazy to me, and I wasn't really sold on that either. I was just kind of like I feel like if the time frame was shorter, like maybe it's been 5 years, or heck, like if you want it to be like a longer span of time, like closer to 10 years, like I would be more like, okay, like sure. But 15 years, you're telling me you have been simping and pining and sitting and waiting for this woman for 15 years? I'm just not, I'm not buying it. I'm not getting a aw, like I'm getting like a damn, bro. Move on, babes. I'm gonna need you to move on for real. Like, I need you to find somebody who loves you, because I'm sorry, Dusty, he loves. That man is full of love. Cam, on the other hand, questionable. But I know it's not Lila Sage's writing, like I said, the author's note, and then Emmy's chapter, which beautifully wraps up the series, made me so emotional and I loved it. So, like, I love Lila's writing. Like, again, books 1 through 3 were like a great time, a fantastic time. I loved it. I definitely want to read more books by Lila Sage. I think she is an incredible author. She writes very well, and the emotions that I get from her writing, yeah, I love it. I'm really disappointed that I did not end up liking Wild and Wrangled, but oh well. That is that is the end of my Rebel Blue Ranch cowboy adventure. If you guys are at a different angle, I had to change my battery, so sorry about that. I'm not gonna lie, my mood reading, I feel like, has reached a level 10 chaos, and I feel like this reading vlog might be a little chaotic. So I'm so sorry, y'all, because I'm just in this very chaotic reading mood. And I've actually like read a few chapters of different books off camera just to see what I want to read next, because even though I'm reaching like the height of my chaotic mood reading, whatever, I feel like I'm also crashing from it, and I'm slowly feeling like a slump coming in because for some reason I'm just feeling overwhelmed by books. I don't know. I don't know. My brain is broken. Okay. Prozac, please fix me. Thank you. I don't know. I just been feeling very like overwhelmed. I am going through some like personal things. So I feel like that's kind of like adding on to my reading stress. And I just want to like read everything but nothing at the same time. And again, I read some books off camera just to kind of like figure out what my next read is going to be. I'm still working my way through Phantasma. I have 3 hours left on the audio. I do want to mention that Blackwell reminds me of Danny Phantom. Okay, he's described as emerald eyes and ghost white hair. That is Danny Phantom. You cannot look at me in my eyeballs and tell me that man is not Danny Phantom. That's Danny Phantom. I wish there was a little bit more world building, but I just came to accept that when it comes to romantasy, world building is just is not gonna fully be there. You know, I feel like when you pick up a romantasy book, you just have to go in knowing that the world building is not gonna be like 1000% fleshed out. So I accept that. I was like, all right, we understand. Although part of me still wishes like there's more, because I DNF'd a book. I need another book to read. So on Steph's Discord, I made a poll. I was like, guys, I feel a reading slump coming in. My reading has been chaotic. What should I read? After reading Annibot, I was like, maybe I'm feeling some more weird girl lit. So I added The Eyes Are the Best Part to the poll amongst a few other books, and this one. And I was super interested in this one because Jenny, she read this, and I'll link the video to where she was talking about it because she was talking about other books as well. It's about a young woman who becomes obsessed with her mom's boyfriend's eyes, and he has blue eyes. And so she just becomes like very obsessed with his eyeballs. And I already read like the first few pages and I'm already like, this might be it, y'all. This might be it. Oh, and one last thing. My dear husband gifted me The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick, and I got the sprayed edge version. It's so pretty. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys haven't seen the video, last year I read One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. One Dark Window, very conflicted, but I think my final rating ended up being 3 stars. I hated Two Twisted Crowns, okay? Absolutely hated it. But Rachel Gillick has really, really good ideas, and I'm all about giving authors second chances. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be the book for me. I've seen reviews of people who dislike the One Dark Window series, absolutely love this book. The next update should be me finishing Phantasma, and hopefully like I'm a good chunk into The Eyes Are the Best Part. It's a short book. It's only 288 pages. And yeah, those are the updates for now. I'm gonna go eat and I'm gonna read a book about some chick eating eyeballs and being obsessed with eyeballs. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye. Hey, friends. So it has been about almost 2 weeks since my last update, and there has been so much that has happened and has changed. And I just want to give you guys an update and then, well, a life update. And then I'll give you guys a reading update. And then I'm going to wrap this up because I need to edit this vlog. I have not edited this vlog. Long story short, even though it's probably not going to be a long story short because I like to yap, I quit my job. I put in my 2 weeks 2 weeks ago. And Friday, the 13th, was my last day at work. Reason being is because I'm going to become a full time content creator. I'm just kidding. That is not true. That is not true. I haven't shared anything yet because I just wanted to make sure that everything worked out properly before I shared anything. And everything worked out properly, but I got accepted into my master's program. So I'll be getting my master's in education with a concentration in school librarianship. And I accepted a position at my county public library as a part time library associate. And that is why I quit my job. I actually start next week. I start Monday, June 23rd. Today is Tuesday, June 17th. So I gave myself this week to rest, take care of personal stuff, and yeah, just prepare myself for this shift. And it has been a lot. They're essentially, it's really good changes, but as an anxiety girly who is also neurodivergent, change, regardless if it's good or bad, takes a toll on me mentally. So I have been dealing with these changes for the past 2 weeks, and I've been burnt out at work because I've just been working hard. Well, at my last job, um, just because I've been working hard, tying up loose ends, making sure that I finish anything I needed to finish before I left. Yeah, I don't know if you guys experience this too. Sometimes I just can't, I'm like paralyzed when something is coming up. I can't focus on other things besides that one thing that's coming up. I'm pretty sure that's like an ADHD thing, probably mixed with a neurodivergent thing. So yeah, so I have been hyper focused on finishing up my last 2 weeks at work, tying up any loose ends, onboarding process at the library, making sure all of my school stuff is in order. So it has been a crazy past 2 weeks. And I went to Chicago. I'm editing a Chicago vlog. I don't know when that's gonna be up because I have to edit this vlog. I haven't even started editing this vlog. So I have that vlog, I have the Chicago vlog, and yeah, so that is my life update. I left my 9 to 5, will be working part time at my library while starting my master's degree in August. I'm super excited. Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm so happy everything worked out. And yeah, I'm really excited to start this new path in my career. And yeah, so that's it about life updates. Now to reading updates. I don't remember. Again, it's been 2 weeks. I don't remember if I talked about Phantasma, but I ended up DNFing Phantasma. I literally got to like 70% on Audible. I just couldn't do it no more. And it really sucks because I really did enjoy Phantasma. I thought it was excellent in the beginning. I loved the vibes. I loved the New Orleans setting. I loved the accents. I loved the idea around Phantasma. I really enjoyed Blackwell, but I guess once it got over the 50% mark and the love interests, started love interesting into each other, it started to shift the focus from the plot and the overall setting to them. And I don't know, everything just started falling flat for me. And I don't know, romantasy has just not been it for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to shit on the romantasy genre, but me and romantasy are just not, I don't think we can work out because every time I try a romantasy, I'm always left craving the themes, the setting, the world building, the magic. And yes, I understand that we're focusing on, the romance between the two main characters, but like it's just when I don't know, it starts becoming too focused on the romance, and I'm not a romance hater. I love me some good romance books, okay? Don't think I'm shitting on romance. I love romance. But just something about romanticy, the way that everything is like written, it's not, to me personally, fleshed out well. I feel like I haven't found a book with a perfect balance yet. I've seen some recommendations. I know Carrie Lake, I don't know how to pronounce that one book. I'll put a picture here. I know this one's highly recommended. The Wood Eating series. That one is really like, it's like a gothic romantasy, but it's really, really well written and a slow burn. So I might give that one a try. But yeah, that one's definitely on my radar. But yeah, it just started falling flat for me, Phantasma, and it just started suffering from the same like problems that a lot of romanticies, for me personally, I experience. And I just was losing interest, and I felt like I was going into a reading slump, pushing myself to read this, so I had to DNF. So also, I did finish The Eyes Are the Best Part. I gave that book, I think I initially gave it a 4.5-star rating, but I might give it 5 stars. I don't remember what I have it on Goodreads. I thought it was a fantastic book. I can't really say much because it is a short novel, and I'll be, like, going into spoiler territory, but we are following Ji-woon. She is Korean American, and basically the book starts off with, her father abandoning her sister, and her mother for another life, another woman. The book is very depressing, by the way. It's very sad. It's also kind of triggering. There's a lot of themes of misogyny, racism, and it's gory, okay? The eyes are the best part. Eyeballs are 8 in this book, and it is in graphic detail how the eyeballs taste. It was quite a squeamish chapter, I will say. It's sad because we see Ji-woon. She sees her mom, her Uma, struggle with her father abandoning them. It's such a good story because you really see difference of generations of, her mom being a Korean immigrant, and then Ji-woon and her sister being first gen Americans. And there's that separation, and then there's this like pressure on Ji-woon that she has to step up and protect her family and do what's right for her sister and her mother. I also feel like this is kind of like a love letter to the eldest daughter, because you just see this pressure and like this responsibility that Ji-woon like takes on because of her father's abandonment, and this anger that starts building in her, especially after her mother gets a white man boyfriend named George, and he has an Asian fetish. Like, he fetishizes her mom, her sister. They always go to these like quote unquote Chinese restaurants, but they're, Americanized Chinese restaurants. Are not authentic. And he's like, oh, the culture, the culture. And I think, and it's so funny because it's like they're Korean, and he's like, oh, I love Asian culture, but they only go to Chinese restaurants. And I'm just like, okay. And you just see like this resentment and anger that she starts building towards her mom, and then towards George. And then there's another boy introduced into, I forgot his name. Okay, I remember the boy's name. Joffrey. She's a college student. Ji-woon is a college student. She meets two characters, Alexis and Joffrey. So Joffrey, Alexis, and Ji-woon are in the same class, and Joffrey hates Alexis. Like, he talks a lot of shit about her, but Alexis and Jiwoon like start like a really good friendship, and I really enjoyed their friendship. And Joffrey increasingly gets like obsessed with Jiwoon, so she not only does she have to deal with like her father abandoning them, and then George's creepy ass preying on her mom and her sister. She also has Joffrey that's like been growing obsessed with her. And yeah, it's just such an amazing novel. I thought it was beautifully written. The chapters where eyeballs were being ate was crazy, and yeah, that was a great read. I, like, consumed that book in a span of, like, 2 days. I started, Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang, and this one we're following Cora Zhang, and she sees the murder of her sister. She gets pushed in front of a train in New York City, and this takes place during COVID, like, 2020 COVID, and she is one of those, like, crime scene biohazard cleaning people, and there's, like, a string of, like, murders, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the summary, but yeah, so I'm excited to read this one. I'm only, like, 2 chapters in, I haven't been able to read more, and I'm almost done with Choosing Theo, which is an alien romance that the girlies were like, "You need to read this," and I was like, "Okay." And yeah, I'm having a fantastic time. Basically, we're following the main character Jade. She gets abducted from Earth from some aliens. They crash land in this Claclinian world, alien world, and she like escapes the pod, runs into a city, and she gets captured again by government officials, and they're like, "Oh my god, like you were kidnapped, but we can't take you back to Earth because it's like some international space law where they cannot like interfere with like planet Earth and certain other planets." And so she has to marry an alien and live within the Clacanian society for a year. So it is a marriage of convenience trope, and I love marriage of convenience tropes. And yeah, so she gets to choose a male, and all the males in Clocania are like they go to husbandry school. Like they learn how to cook, they learn how to clean, they learn how to please their wives. And so she picks Theo, who has never been picked before because he's like covered in tattoos, and she thinks he's so hot and he's so like that's a fine man right there. So yeah, it's just been a fantastic time. I'm almost done. I'm like 80% of the way through the audiobook. That's a fantastic book. I you just can't beat an alien romance. Like I love me a good alien romance. And yeah, that's all that I have right now for reading updates. I need to start editing this vlog so I can have this vlog up for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you for subscribing, tuning in, and yeah, if you guys made it to the end of this video, leave an eyeball emoji, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!